Welcome. Hello, Nija. Hello, Jason. Hello, Jaden. Welcome, Sydney. I am Blaire Penry. I am the instructional specialist at Olympic Middle School and an instructor at Auburn Online. So a typical day for me is really, really varied. I will meet with new teachers, I'll meet with my principal, and then I will hop online and connect with my kiddos there. And so one of the really great things about teaching online is you can't necessarily take traditional lesson plans from your classroom and just immediately implement them in an online setting. And so you have to take a step back and you have to get creative. And we can really start to think about and analyze our curriculum and essentially decolonize it and say, hey, these are all the really wonderful voices and perspectives that maybe weren't involved before in the planning of this curriculum, and now I have a chance to interrupt what was. When I learned that I won Teacher of the Year, I was on stage with everybody else. They call my name, and I look down, and I go, oh boy, because it was absolute disbelief, a little bit of shock, and kind of an overwhelming feeling. I did not think that as an online educator, and to be perfectly frank, as an educator of color, talking about things like culturally responsive practices and increasing educators of color, that I would be up on that podium. Not everybody wants to invite someone different to the table. And so for me, understanding that I brought a lot of different to the table, I didn't expect the invitation. I'm hearing a lot of conversations about change, and I feel like we are on the precipice of change. And I've also heard a lot of change takes time, or slow change, or making sure that people are comfortable with change. And I don't want slow change anymore. We have students every day walking into schoolhouses uncomfortable in their classrooms. We have families every day who are uncomfortable going into district office to advocate for their students. We have staff of color every day who are uncomfortable in their work environments. It's time to get uncomfortable. If we expect educators of color to come and work for our school districts, and all they see are people who don't look like them, what message is that sending? If we expect educators of color to come into a building and assimilate to that culture, they're not going to thrive. And so for school districts, it can't just be about recruiting more educators of color. Before we bring them, we have to build the culture that acknowledges the strengths that they bring. And that's really the first step. And so building a culture around that and being steadfast and uncompromising throughout all of your schools is necessary.